Hey, hello, hello. Welcome to part 3. Oh. I was trying to find my other card, but we have 3 cards. We've made 3 cards. Today is card number 3, and we're going to be talking about Sizzix metal sheets. So we're going to be highlighting the aluminum sheets, not metal sheets. Aluminum sheets, and we're going to be making this cute little card here with some colors. Oh, maybe I used some Villainous Push. You can use anything. I'm feeling very purple this week, so I've done a couple purple items this week. So, oh, here's my other card. So we've done, this was week 1. This was week 2. So week 1 was just focusing on the opulent paper pack and how to assemble the bloom die. Week 2, we played with the acrylic paint and the pearlescent medium. And week 3, we're going to be talking about the aluminum sheets by Sizzix. And you should have a die cut, foil die cut piece in your pack from Pink Fresh, which you could add onto your card. I had one flying around here, but I didn't actually put it on my card, and I don't know why, but now I lost it. But everyone got a random piece from the, what is this called? Foil Sentiments number 1 from Pink Fresh. It has 42 pieces in it, and some were silver foil and some were gold foil, and there's all different sorts of sentiments and encouraging things on there too. And I swear it was here, but anyways. So we are going to do that, and then we're just going to walk through. We're going to talk a bit about the aluminum sheets today. So they actually come in 3 colors. I only have the 2 here, but they come in rose gold, silver, and gold. And your kit, you should have one of each sheet. So you should have a sheet of gold and a sheet of rose gold already in your kit. Nothing special to them or anything. So you'll have one each of those, and that size that is in there is how they come. They come that square size, so we'll be doing that. And then we have an embossing folder in your kit, so you'll need that as well today. And you'll also need 1 sheet of white cardstock, and I use the taupe card panel here, or 2 sheets of just white cardstock or any color cardstock. Or you can even use one of the panels, the extra panels that we have in the kit. But we're going to be making this, and you can see here we have the metal sheet there in the background with a little bit of the opulent paper too, just kind of a whole different color palette. Hello, hello. So we'll be doing that, and I was just waiting for a couple people to catch on because I think I was like a minute late. It's always hard to like type and time it all like perfectly on the live. So give a couple seconds and then we'll start talking. So this is our third and final Sizzix seasonal selection kit. The next Sizzix release is April 1st, so we will have another kit, but we're not allowed to show images quite yet of the chapter 2 release, so watch for that. But we are also trying to finish up some details for a different brand, so watch that. No problem. We haven't really started, so we're just waiting. We were just waiting a couple minutes for people to kind of tune in and catch up, and then we're going to hit the ground running. So this is our cute little card today. The fun things is sometimes I'm having a lot of fun with this kit, actually, personally, because there's just things that sit inside the store, and sometimes I don't necessarily get to play with them all the time. So that is a fun way for even me to go out of my comfort zone and learn a little bit more about all the products that we bring in kind of regularly or all the time. So, and you can see here that I didn't even clean out my die, so while we're catching up. So today we're going to focus on just talking about education a little bit on the aluminum sheets. So the aluminum sheets for Sizzix, again, they come in 3 colors. It was designed initially so that you can add kind of a foil effect to your projects without having to have a foil machine. So if you're on the fence about having a glimmer machine or what do you call the other thing? The laminating system, the aluminum sheets kind of help you achieve that effect, if you will. So, and there's lots of different ways to use them, and we're going to walk kind of through each, well, not lots of different ways. There's ways to use them, but we're going to walk kind of through it, and then also show you not just how we used it here today, and I have a cute little, like, sort of card panel, not a finished card, a medium finished card in the wings, and then how you can use it for other things as well. So, just forgot something right there. Okay, so if you pull out your metal sheets, you'll see that they are a little bit flimsy. Ta-da! They feel flimsy. They are adhesive backs. So if you pull off this white backing, it is adhesive. And we're just going to, you only have 2. So what we're going to do is, oh, you can see my reflection. Oh, I'm wearing a leopard shirt today. What we're going to do is we're just going to trim it down. So have a trimmer down and very carefully trim your metal sheet to be 3 3/4 by 5.5. So when I'm doing this, I do my long cut first, just because I think they're 6 by 6, but I want, oh, I can't do 3 3/4. JK, my bad. I'm gonna do it on my big cutter. I'm gonna make my 3 3/4 cut, and then I'm gonna cut off the little strips. So you should have some extra strips. So I'm gonna have 1 long strip, and then I'm gonna have when you cut it, you should have like, oops, 3 little pieces like this. And this is the piece we're gonna actually use for our project today. Now, these extra little pieces you can use to play with. You can cut them into smaller strips so that you can feel how it is. Or you can use the rose gold one to play with too. So whichever tickles your fancy. But I'm just going to show you a couple things. You can do it live with me or not, but this base right here that's 3 3/4 by 5.5, we're going to save this and we're going to put it off to the side for right now, because this is what we're going to use to make our card. So one of the fun things is it is gorgeous with 3D embossing folders. So if you even look at the packaging has this gorgeous, gorgeous detailed folder with these like leaves and all those little details. And it does keep that shape. So you can take the aluminum sheet, peel the backing off, put it on some cardstock, and then run it through the embossing folder, and it is going to stay just like that and be super pretty and gorgeous like you see here in the background. So what I did here was adhere this to a piece of white cardstock. Nothing fancy, just the hammer mill that I keep in my stash all the time. And then ran it through the embossing folder in my die cutting machine. And it's going to create that tall or that bumpy, it's going to keep its shape, and it's going to create that kind of foil effect without having to run it through a hot machine or a glimmer machine or a laminator. The other thing you can do is you can take it and you can run it through, you can run the sheet by itself through a die cutting machine, and then you can peel it off and lay it flat. But once you lay it flat onto a card, and when you do that, it does lose the three-dimensional texture. But, so you can see here, this is the same embossing folder. This piece here, I ran it through, and then I got a little air bubble, so I had to be a little careful here. I was not too careful. But I ran it through the machine while it was just like this on its sticky backing, and then peeled the sticky backing off and just put it down on my card base. Now what this does is it gives me like a foiled background look, as if I had used like a glimmer plate or something, but it gives like a light, a very light kind of textured background. So it looks kind of crinkly, but it's not, because you can see very closely, you can see all the cute textured designs from that like pillowy crackle shape. It holds its shape in there. Now I thought, well, Nina, when you're showing this on camera, this isn't like a, oh my God, I should buy foil sheets, blah, 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 because of this design. And this is just because of this folder itself. Say, like this one is designed to be really tall. So I grabbed another folder and I kind of did the same thing I was talking about. So this one is a Halloween folder that came out from Sizzix this year. Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but I know we have it at the shop. It looks like this. It just has these fun Halloween iconography happening. And, oh, yay. Okay. So this is a better example of what I was just talking about. So this here, if you see, the black cardstock is just black cardstock through the embossing folder, and everything is nice and raised. Now this silver strip here, this is one of my extra little pieces here. Run through the embossing folder, and then you can see it's not tall. I took it off and I put it on a strip of paper, and then I rubbed it down. So this tall piece here is flat. Oh, I even have a little air bubble here. So you can see when you're doing this technique, you just have to go a little slow and make sure you don't get some air bubbles. But what it did was it kept that impression from this folder in here, and you have that fun kind of dramatic or that fun impression, and then you have it up against the black here, and you have that like kind of two-tone like ta-da foil accent, if you will. My idea was then to put like a colorized person or a pumpkin or something else on here. I don't know what, but it'll have something. But you can see how it looks like that. The other fun thing is when you're doing these pieces like this, that white plasticky backing that happens, that comes off, like when you peel it off, it keeps its shape. So then you have a whole nother piece. So you kind of get like 2 for 1 when you're doing it, and you can use that too. You can slice it up and use it as another accent, another project piece. So you can see that is there too. So this is super fun. So I'm gonna demo with both the embossing folder that was included in the kit and this one, just so you can see this the more flattening technique, because I think that this one is more powerful on camera than this one here. But you can use any folder you have in your stash too, if you don't want to use the one that you have that was in the kit. But anyways, so here we go. So I'm going to just cut a little strip off this time. Do I still have? Oh, here, I have a strip. Haha. Okay, so here's the other half. So when I cut it earlier, I cut my piece off. This still has the backing on it, so you can see the backing like this. And I ran it through the embossing folder, and now I'm ready for it to... Yes, so you can do different things. So this one here, so this is going to be the flat technique. This is going to do what I'm going to show you how to do this first. So we're going to do the flattened technique first. So this was just run through the embossing folder. I haven't peeled it off yet, so you can see that it is, it still has its backing, so it's still intact. But we're just going to take this piece and put it straight on cardstock, and you'll see that it's going to lose that three-dimensional shape, but it's still going to be, it's still going to hold the design. So, watch. And you can see, look at that backing. Also keeps its shape. So you can use this. So you can keep this. You could spray this with Dina Wakley gloss sprays or any acrylic paint and stuff too. Acrylic sprays you could rub on there because it is, it's slick. So you can use those on here and create some fun texture and patterns too. So I wouldn't throw these away, but then again, we know that I'm a like little crafting hoarder. So I'm just going to go straight in the middle. So this is just a plain cardstock piece. Here is base. And when you want to just use it as a add-on, I'm going to show you. I'm going to like zoom in a little. So just go a little bit at a time and you'll see that all I'm doing is sticking this flat. And while it's going flat, I mean, it's flat, but you can still see the design from the embossing folder. So it's creating a different effect. Boop, 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 boop. Ta-da! Now you'll see, let's pull the camera back up a little. You'll see that it's not raised. I mean, it's a little raised, you know, you'll feel a little bit of texture, but it's not tall or raised like the embossing folder. Has all those kind of tip. Ooh, you can see my little pumpkin. So the embossing folder is going to have a lot of texture, and then this piece here is flat because we just put it through the embossing folder and then laid it flat on cardstock. So we're going to have that different type of style. Then so then the other way you could use this is just taking it and putting it straight on your cardstock first and then running it through the machine. And that's how we're going to use it with the embossing folder for this technique. So grab a piece of, grab a card panel. You can do an A2 card panel and, oh no, that's a piece of photo paper. Where's my card panel? Sorry. Grab an A2 card panel. So I'm going to have to cut one because I misplaced mine. We have our silver piece that's already cut. Yes, this is what I love, is just a little bit more education about some of the products we all have. Sometimes it's hard. You buy something and then you're like, oh, I don't remember how I'm supposed to use this. But anyways, so I cut an A2 card panel and I'm going to adhere this piece that we cut earlier. So we have our 3 3/4 by 5.5 metal sheet that's pre-cut. And we're going to cut that down, or we're going to take this off the backing and just put it on a piece of cardstock. It doesn't have to be amazing cardstock. You could have put it on a bigger piece and then cut it down. You can see, again, just like the other piece, go from one end to the other because we don't want some air bubbles. And if you get some air bubbles, it won't be the end of the world. But we want to adhere this foil piece down flat, 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 flat on our white cardstock. And then trim off any excess pieces that you have. So, which is why it's easier to trim off and like put on before you emboss. So just peel it off your backing, put it on a little piece of cardstock, and then trim off any excess white that you might have. Okay. Ta-da. No worries, we've just kind of started. So we're using our metal sheets. We cut it so that we had this 3 3/4 by 5.5, and then you'll have an extra little piece here and an extra little piece here. Don't throw those away, but put them to the side. Okay, so now with this piece, we have it on a piece of cardstock, and we're just going to take that and run it straight through the embossing folder, through the machine in the embossing folder. So, We're going to grab the embossing folder that came in your kit. If you don't like this one and you want to put something else, go ahead, but I'm using this one and it's going to be the backing to my card. So I'm just going to put it in here just like this. Oops, which way? This way. With the pokey things poking into the metal. And then run it through my die cutting machine. Ta-da! Okay. Ooh. Oh, I'm throwing stuff all over. You'll hear I have my switch machine here, so that is working for me. And now we're getting this card panel. You can see earlier I didn't trim it off. Ugh. And then that annoyed me afterwards. So trim your piece before, ta-da. And then you're going to get this, look at this, beautiful foil. Look at the texture. And it's going to hold its shape because we put it on some cardstock. If you don't put it on cardstock, you could run it through the machine like that, but that white backing is very thin. So if you touch the white backing after you peeled it off, where did I just put it? Like this white backing that it comes on, it's not super thick. It is a little thin, so I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't just use that as my backing. I would put it on a piece of cardstock. I put it on 80-pound cardstock because I know it's going to hold its shape and it's going to give me that like nice background here. And we're going to attach it to our card base with, what do we call it? Foam tape. So if you have foam tape from your stash in your basic toolkit, that's what we're going to use. And I need a card base. So grab a card base. You can use the taupe. You can use the white. You can use the black. I think you should have 2 of each color in your kit, except for we used 2 already. I think we used both the black ones. I did. I used the 2 black ones. So get a taupe or a white. And okay, so I'm going to grab my taupe one. And then I'm going to put foam tape on the back of this. And I'm going to just kind of eyeball center it in the middle of my card. And get it taped down. And that's going to give me my like foiled background, right? Like I didn't have to use a hot plate or anything. While you guys are doing that, I'm just going to talk and ramble. And yeah, so these sheets are great for 2 things. While you're on the fence, if you're on the fence about investing in a hot foil machine or plate, like it's great to give you that kind of like look. If you're out at a crop or something and you want to add foil and you don't want to bring all, the machines with, this is a great product. I just kind of always have it around now. The last kind of month I've been researching and talking to Alexis at Sizzix and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, some of these things I like didn't even know everything about them, and it's super fun and pretty. Okay, so now I just kind of have it always on my desktop here at home. Ta-da! Now look at that. And I chose silver for this because I just didn't want it to... You could do the rose gold too, and you could pick a whole different color palette for... you could do the rose gold and keep it purple, but I thought the silver just looked nicer with the colors that I picked today. I don't know. I was feeling purple. I'm still feeling purple. So that's what I used. The other nice thing is, I'm going to show you some more about these foil sheets, is you can use them as if you were using any type of foil. So I'm just going to keep this to the side. The very first, what was I going to say? The very first week? No. Let's do this. So we also have a leaf die in here. If you wanted to use an accent, if you wanted to use the accent piece, you could always cut the accent piece in foil, and you could cut this piece in not foil. You could cut sentiments. We all have a ton of sentiments, I'm sure. One of the weeks we had, I think, the word hello, the Pink Fresh Hello, which I have here. You could cut this out of foil. You could cut the background out of foil. Whatever kind of tickles, whatever you're feeling. Oh, do you think we can get it to do that and not ruin my die? We're going to try. Ha ha ha. Here's 3 different hopeful ways that we're going to try and use those right then and there. So you can see more ways. Here we go. To use. I'm just going to, oh, no, don't move. This one's going to be tricky. I definitely don't want that one to skip and jump. Okay. Here's my phone, my purple tape that I was using with the Simon Hurley stuff. So this, no embossing machine. I'm just using some pieces so that I can add some foil-like accents to other things. So we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. Just another way for you to envision how to use, where's my cutting plate? Boop, 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 boop. Ba-da-ba. Oh, there it is. To envision how to use the foil sheets, so it's going in, possibly, there we go, the die cutting machine. Walk around my desk, sorry. And you'll see that, ooh, haha, it cut it all out very carefully here. Oh, with a lot of pressure, but that's okay. We're just gonna pop these out, ish. And my words. I have that background. I have that purple tape is holding onto it all. Ta-da. Look at that. Okay, so I have my hello. I have a background piece cut out here too. Like this. Now what I'm going to do again is just cut these out real fast out of some cardstock. Just so you can see. Should we cut on a cardstock? What do we got here? No, that's going to be too much. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to cut it out of, I have a piece of scratch cardstock here. I have some navy, so we're just going to cut it out of some navy just so we have some words here real fast. Okay. Oh, I should have cut my leaf out too. Okay. Okay, so if you wanted to just use them as an accent piece as well, you can, like adding foil to your, I'm gonna have to clean those dies off later from a pokey tool. Ta-da! So if you don't have foil cardstock or foil machine, you can take these sheets. Oh, where's my hello? Oh, here it is. So now this is adhesive, so I can put this on a card base, I can put it on a panel, I could put it on, oh, make sure it, pull it out here. I could put it on a bunch of different things, or I could put it straight onto a card or straight onto a layout, right? I know, in addition to the glimmer, it's not to replace, like, I mean, it can replace it. I'm not gonna lie, but it gives you a little bit of a, so I love my foiling. I love my foil machine, so don't get me wrong. I use it a lot. But Here you go. You could even just cut a cute little border piece like that. And then you have a fun little kind of background. And then I would even just kind of cut out my whole thing, and then your cardstock matches and you have that like that. Or like we were talking about before, I'm going to peel off this purple tape. And I could do it the other way. I cut my backing out in cardstock. I have this piece here like this. Oh, you can see I grabbed my glue. I want to take out all the extra bits because it is thin, so I don't want it to like rip while I'm using it, if that makes sense, while I'm peeling it all off. So I'm trying to get all those little details out of there. Oops, see, like right here, it's trying. It's trying to give me trouble. Oh no, that's okay. I did rip it, see? But we'll put it together. Be very careful. But when I take it off of the backing there, now I have it and I can, oh. I'm working. Early release from school. Now I have it in here, and it's, because it's a sticker, it's adhesive backed, so I'm just lining it up. As carefully as I can to get my cute little word all lined up. Ta-da! And then you have that. So this is just cardstock in the back with our adhesive sheet, or our aluminum sheets. So it's kind of like a foil sheet, if you will. So we can do lots of different things with it. It also holds its shape on that, on the embossing folders, which is cool. So we have it here on the cardstock, here flattened on a flat piece of cardstock, here all in its shape. So a bunch of different ways to use the cool aluminum sheets from Sizzix. Ta-da! And then the rest of today is just kind of building this card. So, which is how I'm just using kind of the same techniques from last week. I wanted to use like purples. I wanted to give it a little bit of splatter because I don't know, I'm really into that lately. I have some of the glitter opulent paper all the way as my base. I have Villainous Potion Distress and then Villainous Potion Oxide on top of each other, and then a little bit of Shabby Shutters and Forest Moss. So you'll see this is kind of what I'm using today to create kind of this effect. And then this is the matte finish panel that we haven't used yet from, or you should still have like half a sheet, unless you've been playing, which is totally fine. But I use the matte sheet and I cut it down to be, what did I cut it down to be? 3 inches. Oh, not this one. This is my leftover piece. So you're going to cut it down to be 3 inches by 3 3/4. So our matte sheet is going to be 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So you can cut that, just cut a little panel down, just to create a little bit of something for like a base for the flower to sit on. So I'm going to cut that off camera in my cute little cutter here that I have. So 3 inches by 3 3/4. If you want to leave it bigger, you can. And then I am do we glue it down? What did I do? Yes, I just liquid glued it down to my base, and eyeball centered it up and down. Oop. So we're just going to do that like that. So I'm just adding a little liquid glue, whichever type you like to use best. And just kind of put some liquid glue, and I held it down for a couple seconds. To just make sure that it's kind of on there. And I'm not too worried about it. If I feel like it's not, oh, I didn't put any glue in that corner. If it's not sticking in a couple areas, I'm just going to go back and add some glue even after the fact. So I have that and that. And then with our other sheet of far right, Forest Moss, Shabby Shutters, Villainous Potion, Distress, and Oxide. Or a light green and dark green. That's all I did, was a light green and a dark green. In my stash here, I have these two. So these are the colors I used. And just like last week, I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock. If you want to cut it down into 4 panels, and I'm just going to do my pad to paper again on there and create, actually I only need 3 panels this time, but I'm just going to do pad to paper with a little bit of, what do we call it? Oops. I'm going to keep that up there so you can see. Pad to paper and a little bit of water. I'm not even worried about like getting it 100% all over. If there's a little bit of white or a little bit of texture, that was not bothering me. So you can see I'm just kind of covering as I go. Mostly just big enough for the flower dye. And then with the nozzle of my water, just giving it a good little splatter. As much or as little as you want. So that was the oxide. Then I'm going to do the same with the regular. You know, one's lighter, one's darker. You can make it really dark, you can make it really light, whatever. However it inspires you. You can touch the nozzle. And then the greens, I really didn't do that, but the greens, I don't even need a huge strip, so I'm just going to cut like a little 1-inch strip off, 2-inch strip, 2-inch, just to give myself enough space to make sure I work. And then, oh, you know what? And then if you want to do the leaves, so I guess I should have done a little bit more. I lied when I said you don't need the whole panel. So we're going to do that for our little pieces. And I'll use the other part of that panel for the leaf pieces now that I think about it. Which, oh yeah, that should work. So I'm just going to kind of give myself a little bit of a guide there. And then do the other part too. And if you want to spray these parts with some water, you can as well. Just whatever you feel like doing. What I like about this splatter is like with the flowers, it just makes it look like, oh, like maybe it was just rainy or like morning dew, like super fun. And then I'm just gonna get my cutting plate and get it all kind of ready. So I have 3 panels, and you'll need your glitter panel too that we haven't used. So I use the glitter as the base. Let me grab my, oh, where's my glitter panel? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I have my leaf, which is going to be my background here. It's my dark piece. This is my accent piece, my light. This is going to be, now if you have a Big Shot Plus or a switch, you can die cut all these pieces at once. Oh, I forgot to put the metal sheet in here. Ta-da! So that's what I'm using is my switch machine here to die cut all of these panels all at one time. So I'm going to do my base panel in the glitter, and then you can choose. So I'm going to choose the I think I went darker in the background and lighter in the front. And where's my tape? Get some tape. Tape it in place just because I don't want it to skip in the machine and move. And then I'm just going to run it through the die cutting machine. Yes, all at once. Because of, no, I missed a piece. Where's my cute little inner? Hello, any die. The center of my flower. Oh, there it is. Put that there. Okay. I'll run them through. Ta-da! And then we're just going to take it apart and assemble it. Oh, forest moss. It's a good green to have in your stash. My favorite greens, ooh, is crushed olive, shabby shutters, and forest moss. Personal favorites. Not that you guys asked, but I'm sharing. I got a share today on Maker Mania. Ooh. We're supposed to ask like questions about ourselves. Some of you know I am not huge on sharing. So I'm just going to take my flower apart ever so carefully. Now, I like to work in just kind of parts. So you'll see I'm just pulling the flower part now, and then I'm going to glue the flower together, and then I'll go back and I'll grab my inside pieces and we'll glue that together, and so on and so on. Come on. Uh-oh. I think my paper was still wet. I didn't heat set it a little, which you don't have to, but it just comes out of the die nicer when it's not wet. It's being impatient. So you can see that that's why I'm going a little bit slow, just to get some just to make sure I don't rip any of it and the details. There we go, and then I just have a couple in here to pokey out. Okay, and then the same thing. So this is not a colorize, it's just a layered die, so there is no alignment guide. So we're going to find our anchor points, and we're going to put them together, and yeah. Ta-da! And I'm going to use liquid glue. So grab my liquid glue. Oh, there's pieces that I didn't pop out, which become more apparent when you flip it over. That's funny. Oh, that piece doesn't want to leave. Oh, you don't want to come out. I'm going to poke you out from the back. Don't pull forward, pull backwards, because if it ends up pulling paper off, it rips the back off, not your ink. Pro tip, because you know, I'm impatient, so I usually ruin things like that. So I'm going to just add some glue. Find my anchor point, which are like, for me, the little two pieces that are kind of stuck together, and put it down. This is my dark distress piece, and liquid glue. I have a couple seconds to line up. Move some of those petals. Oh, look at how pretty that looks against that like charcoal glitter. Hello, hello. Okay, so this is our third project from our Sizzix seasonal selection kit, and then we're going to put some glue on this piece. Now this piece was kind of stuck in there. Let me tell you something. No one is going to know if that piece is supposed to have that extra. No one's going to know. And because it has that little white kind of part to it, I'm just going to go at an angle and chop it off because it was popping up and I pulled it too much, and a little bit of white, that white part from the white cardstock was showing, and that was going to drive me crazy. So, bye-bye. And it's 100% okay because no one's going to know. Well, you guys know. But if I ever gave this to somebody, they wouldn't know. I didn't even poke everything out either. Oh well, no one's going to know. You guys know. You guys know, but you have to keep my secret. Okay, here's my anchor point, the long stem area that has the cute little fingers next to it. I'm going to find it here, that long slice with the cute little fingers next to it, and line them up. I try to line up the centers first as you go around. And then push down the whole flower. Ta-da! Then I'm going to push out my middle piece here. Adhere it together. Barely squeezing some glue on there. Yeah, what happens on my lives stay on my lives. I love that. Ta-da! Line up my 3 middle dots there. Now, if you're overhanging with the glue, this is why I always have like a weeding tool or a craft pig, because I can kind of like quick get any excess glue out of the way too. Put that on there in the middle. I have my, my leaf piece. Ta-da. Oops. Which still has some metallic sheet in there. Haha. Now, the leaf piece, I don't know if you guys noticed, I altered it in my card because I'm not a flower person. I'm really not. I don't know what all the flowers are supposed to look like. When we did the daffodil tag the other day from Hero Arts, I literally Googled colors of daffodils, like, because I don't know. Like, I'm more of a cook. My free time, I cook, if anything. So for the life of me, when I was putting this together, move this over. I have my card here. I could not get it to look how I mean, I couldn't, like, I'm like, oh, how are you supposed to put this, like, long flower piece here? And I guess I could cut it twice, but then I'm like, it's just so long, and it looks like it's, I don't know, like it's not, it's out of the way, and then you don't want to cover too much up. So if you look, what I did is I just kind of tucked it behind, but I cut it. I don't know why I whispered either, but I'm going to take it here this way, and I'm just going to follow this kind of bend here, and I just cut it. Boop, don't tell Tim. But I cut it. So then I have this kind of like piece here, and then this really long piece here. I'm just going to tuck it behind. And it just makes kind of like I mean, it's there still, but I pulled it in so it's a little bit shorter. If you don't like that, don't do that. Okay? But if you're like me, and it was, I mean, you can put it somewhere else too. You can make it like a third leaf or whatever. I just thought it just looked a little bit nicer, like this way, tucked in. So I just kind of tucked it in. It gave it a little bit more of a layered look too. So you have like a little panel in the back, and then just tuck it behind somewhere. I don't even know. Look at, I have my anchor point here because I feel like there's a spot there where it can kind of go. You can put it wherever you want, but put some glue on there and put it behind somewhere in your flower. Tuck it back there. I'm going to tuck it back here again. And it doesn't matter where or how you do it. Okay. And ta-da! Now I have this little purple thing here that's driving me nuts. I'm just going to add some glue there. And look, it dried in like a weird position. So I have to hold it in place for a second or two. And I always use this to kind of get the glue off a little, because sometimes, you know, when you like move the liquid glue, it smudges a little and then it drives me crazy. Yeah, you do you. I know Tim does say that. But, and then just glue it down on your card. And that's it. So you might have a sentiment. Well, not you might. Everyone has a sentiment. I know I put them in all the kits. So you'll have a pre-foiled die cut sentiment from, what is this? Pink Fresh. They're all over the place. Not all over the place. Some say happy birthday, some say brave, some are very encouraging, some are like miss you, some are take a deep breath. I like these because they're just like a sentiment for everything. So it's always fun to have in your stash. And if you guys think that I'm joking, I have where is it? It's on the dining room table. I was working. I have an embellishment bucket, and then over here where I keep my checkbooks, I have, oh no! I was just going to show you. I have another one, but the package wasn't closed. I have another one, which is all gold, Foil Sentiments 3. These ones are all gold, and now they're literally all over the floor because they just fell out of the package. So when I do say that I do keep these things around, I do. They're in my stash all the time. I have different stashes of things everywhere while I'm working because you guys know I'm not a clean crafter. I feel like there's chaos in my head, and so I just kind of do that too. So, oh, look at this. You were made for such a time as this. Like, that's so encouraging. Take a deep breath. Yay, woohoo. Like, oh, woohoo would look really cute right on that flower. I'm going to put something on there. So, what I also like about this die is you can make it, it's just so versatile because you can make it kind of like anything. You want to make it, sympathy, you can. You want to make it birthday, you can. You want to make it encouraging, you can. Like, and you know, I'm not into flowers. If you're in Maker Mania, you're going to hear one of my deep, dark secrets today, which is not a secret to some of the stores, but ha ha ha. Might be a secret to some of the participants. So, ta-da, and that's it. So I hope you had fun learning about the metal sheets. Definitely play with them. We gave you 2 sheets, one so that you can make a card with us live, and then you should have that extra side strip and then a whole nother sheet to play with. Definitely play with your embossing folders. Do something, grab a folder from your stash that has a lot of texture on it and use that. But oh, thanks, Renee. It is hard. I know it's hard. I know you guys put a lot of trust in me. Like, you're signing up for these things blind, not seeing what we're making. And so if you guys think that I take that lightly, I don't. It actually adds a lot more stress. I sit here and I pace. You should ask my husband. I pace and I pace, and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I need to make an amazing project. And he's like, I think your people will love whatever you make. But I'm like, that's not the point. Anyways, so this was our very first Sizzix seasonal selection kit. So the next one will probably be up for purchase in March because we can't show any images of the dye that we're using in it until after March 1st. So it's not too far away. So sometime in March, our next Sizzix seasonal selection kit. And then we are working on another one with a different company, but those details aren't finalized, so we don't want to jinx it or blow anything. So I hope you guys had a really good time learning about some Sizzix products. And we will see everybody on Tuesday. Have a happy weekend. I'll see some of you on Sunday. So if you're taking any of the classes with me on Sunday, the Avriel, an Avriel and a Sizzix. And yeah, so have a happy weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.